Hi, it's Colin Dart with Mile High Modern checking in this January 2022. And I do want to first acknowledge and make myself available as well, knowing that we've just gone through a pretty dramatic tragedy here in Boulder, the metro area with the wildfires, and offer a little bit of support. I know that there's some great outreach going on. Many of us know people, are close with people, have lost homes, and there's a lot of downstream and long-lasting effects that will happen that we don't even know about yet. So I want to acknowledge that and also make myself available to pair people up with resources if they need it. I know that my firm is working very hard in finding temporary and more secure longer-term housing as well. That's an option, and I'm just happy to be a resource with whatever may be helpful. And I wanted to say that. I wanted to talk about that because it's been weighing heavily, I think, on most everyone. Now, switching gears, moving into 2022 and the homes market here, we're coming off the most quickly appreciating market that the Denver and Boulder homes market has ever seen, and the disparity between supply and demand has never been greater. So we want to really think about how to strategically put those of you that are considering executing a transaction, I would argue in the next 18 months, put you in a place to understand what opportunities, challenges you may be facing as you enter into the market. This is going to be a seller's market. Right now, it's an extreme seller's market here in the first 2 weeks of January. Will that kind of iron its way out to be just a seller-friendly market? Probably. It's going to be a very seller favorable market throughout the year, although I would anticipate there's going to be times of the year, namely after probably the 4th of July, where you may see a little bit of a tick down, at least in home values. But unlike last year and the year prior, we want to be cognizant of interest rates as well. So talking to sellers, what a great time to sell your home. There has never been more demand with respect to the amount of supply that's out there. This is not a time to cut corners. This is actually a time to really strategically market your home for success, because what I'm seeing is the best in show properties, which that definition is getting looser and looser every day, are getting lots of attention, lots of demand, and many offers. And I've seen homes with up to 30 offers already this year, and we've seen homes going for well over $200,000 over list price this year. I've been involved with a transaction already in that regard. So it is starting hot and heavy. If you're looking to sell and buy, again, capitalize on that equity. I think that as we see these market forces that are going to start coming together, namely rising interest rates coupled with this continued quick value appreciation, this is going to start putting forces on the market because affordability is going to become an issue. So capitalize if you're ready to sell, thinking about selling, want to sell and move up and buy, which is a little bit more of a challenging transaction because you take advantage of an extreme seller's market and then turn into having to be a buyer in an extreme seller's market. Arguably, you have some equity to flex in that market. Definitely give this a thought. It's a wonderful time to sell if you're on the fence. And that goes into the buy side conversation. There are obviously more buyers out there than sellers. So I know I'm probably talking to more people on the buy side than on the sales side on this video. Some things to be on the lookout for, and I would still argue what a great time to be a buyer, because more than likely we're going to see property value appreciation hit double digits between January and perhaps even April in the Denver and Boulder homes market. So we want to be very aware of kind of the opportunity of making a quick move, a strategic move. And it doesn't mean that you can't plan your buy side transaction for later in the year. But the other force that should be mentioned, and this is something that's going to start ticking up ever so slightly, will be interest rates. They've already gone up this year. That was not an Fed funds interest rate hike, but they've been going up with the market reaction to what is going to be anticipated as planned hikes by the Federal Reserve starting more than likely in March. So keep in mind, as these interest rates are going up, buying power is diminishing, as well as you've got two forces. So your buying power is going down ever so slightly, and then also home value appreciation is going up. So the market is moving very, very quickly. I anticipate volatility this year. I want to say that interest rates, while they're going up, still we're spoiled. We're very spoiled. I would not let that scare you from executing a transaction. I would not let that scare you from getting into the market. I certainly have bought a home at 4% plus interest rate, I think 4.25. So historically, we're at really, really low interest rates, but we've been pretty spoiled over the last 18 months or so with the historic lows that we'll probably never see again in our lives. At least I hope we don't, because part of the reason we saw those was because of the pandemic. So I don't want to see those again, because it means that we're in dire straits in the economy, and we're going to be moving out of that. So as always, I'm here to support with whatever is helpful, develop strategies for your upcoming transactions, support your friends and family in whatever way you think I might be able to be useful. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month, and I'll talk next month. Take care. Ciao.